The city of Memphis is known for a few things: their food, the culture, the river, the old Mississippi River, and music. Previously on the Sam T. Blues Review, we detailed the musical history of Memphis, Tennessee. We started with the blues greats, B.B. King, W.C. Handy. Went on to rock and roll, Elvis Presley, the birth of Sun Records, and eventually soul music and Stax Records. Today on the Sam T. Blues Review, we continue our tribute to Memphis soul music by looking at a littler known but just as powerful musical enterprise to come out of Memphis, and that's Hi Records. Hi Records was founded in 1957 by singer Ray Harris and former Sun Records producers Joe Cooley, Bill Cantrell, and Quentin Clounch. Their first big hit was this instrumental piece that you hear behind me. This is called Smokey Part 2 by the Bill Black Combo. That came out in 1959, and Bill Black's saxophonist Ace Cannon had a hit a couple years later in 1961 with Tough. So this is the 1960s. This is Hi Records. They're still in their infancy, releasing instrumental music, some rockabilly, kind of early R&B, but nothing too huge like Jackie Wilson and people like that. So at that same time, Stax Records, of course also in Memphis, they're exploding. They've got music from Rufus and Carla Thomas, Otis Redding, Sam and Dave Wilson Pickett, Eddie Floyd, all these huge names, these huge stars we now know and love. And of course, the house band, Booker T and the MGs. So Stax is just off the charts. Sun was huge. Stax is huger. Huge, more huge. They're both huge. Hi Records, biding its time here in Memphis, since any artist wanting to explore the soul or R&B genre would likely go to Stax. Rock and roll and country artists likely would go to Sun. So Hi Records is just, they're sort of in the middle, and it wasn't until 1970 that things really, really got rolling.
I'm so tired of being alone, I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, girl, just as soon as you can? Say that you love me. Hey baby, you didn't go for that. It's a natural fact that I wanna come back. Show me where it's at, baby. I'm so tired of being alone, I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, girl, soon as you can? You know that I love you so, even though you don't want me no more. Hey, hey, hey. I'm crying tears all through the years. I tell you like it is, honey, love me if you will. Myself now, I tell you, I'm tired, baby. I'm tired of being all wrapped up late at night in my dreams. Nobody but you, baby. Sometime I wonder if you love me like you say you do. You see, baby, I've been thinking about it, yeah, and I've been wanting to get next to you, baby. You see, sometimes I fool moms, I say, oh, baby, needing you has proven to me to be my greatest dream, yeah. I'm so tired, baby.
stand the rain against my window, bringing back sweet memories. Yeah, when the rain, do you remember how sweet it used to be?
Just a few moments, what would I give just to have you near? Tell me you will try to slip away somehow. Oh, I need you, darling. I just got to see you right now. Tell me you can slip away, slip away, slip away, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I need you so. Love, oh love, how sweet it is when you're stealing. Let me tell you now, darling, how sweet it is. You to do. Oh, but please believe me, darling, I'm not trying to hurt you. Maybe you can slip away without him knowing that you're gone. We could meet somewhere we're both not known. Maybe can slip away, slip away, slip away, yeah. Oh, I need you so. Oh, yeah. Just got to see you right now, darling. Oh, I need you, darling. Oh, I need you right now. All right. I got to see you, baby.
Don Bryant with Slip Away, better known as a Clarence Carter tune, but Don, oh, he does all right. Before that, you heard Ann Peebles with Can't Stand the Rain, one of my wife's favorite songs, and Al Green was Tired of Being Alone, one of everybody's favorite songs. All these songs recorded for High Records in Memphis. Al Green would be the label's shining star, with hits like the one you just heard and Let's Stay Together, which came out in 1972. And that was selected as the 60th greatest song of all time. That is according to Rolling Stone magazine. Written by Al Green and the man who would take over High Records in the 1970s, Willie Mitchell. Let's hear it now. This is Let's Stay Together on the Sam T. Blues Review.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. And I want to spend my life with you. And me say, sing, oh baby, since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. I'll never be untrue. Oh, baby, let's stay together, loving you weather times are good or bad, happy or sad. Ooh, yeah. Whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Why people break up, oh, and turn around and make up? I just came to see you'd never do that to me, would you, baby? Being around you is all I see. Is what I want to do. And we ought to stay together, loving you weather times are good, bad, happy or sad. Come on, let's stay together, loving you weather. I done got into something I can't, I never will, I never will, I never will, ooh, never will, never will, I can't now shake it loose, no. I'm in something I can't shake loose, can't shake loose. I'm in something I can't shake loose, can't shake loose. Loving and leaving a woman used to be easy to do, but this time, honey, it looks just like I've been
You're listening to the Sam T. Blues Review here on 97.7 The Bolt. I appreciate everybody taking time and listening to this, what I consider a wonderful show, a wonderful piece of radio that I am very proud of, and I enjoy doing it, especially at times like this. There's all this uncertainty in the world, a lot of stuff going on. People are afraid to leave their houses, which I'm not saying it's good to be afraid, but it is good to take precautions. So, if you're at home, tuning in, just for something to do, I appreciate it, and I hope to keep you entertained. So the song behind me, this cool instrumental track that you're probably digging, this is a song called Groovin', as performed by Willie Mitchell, a.k.a. Papa Willie. He took over the reins of High Records in 1970 and transformed it from this tiny studio that mostly housed instrumental, kind of rockabilly artists to a label that could successfully compete with the then-declining Stax Records. Mitchell enlisted Booker T and the MG's drummer Al Jackson Jr. and other local session musicians to create that unique sound. Another artist that contributed to a High Records sound was Otis Clay. He's known for this 1973 hit, If I Could Reach Out and Help Somebody. That's kind of how I feel. That's kind of how I feel right now. I wish I could reach from the radio station and help everybody affected by this terrible virus. That would be wonderful, but until then, the best thing I can do to help is just play some good old-fashioned R&B tunes, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Here it is right now, Otis Clay on the Blues Review.
Just ain't enough love. Just ain't enough love in the world today. You know, thinking about the world in its condition, the little children are starving and mothers are crying all over the world. How long can man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? Sometimes I get so depressed when things don't reach out and help somebody. My. Can turn a gray sky blue. You see, I can make it rain when I want it to. Can build a castle from a single grain of sand. Yeah. You see, I can make a ship sail on dry land, children. Yeah. On a happy mind with all the powers that I possess. Yeah. Girl, you're the key to my happiness, and I can't get next to you, babe. Lord, can't get next to you. I've been trying a long time. Can't get next to you, babe. I don't know what to do. Let me say, my. Oh, Lord. I can fly like the bird in the sky. I can buy anything that money can buy. Oh, I can turn a river into a raging fire. And I can live forever if I so desire. Yeah, I'm happy with all the powers that I possess. Can't get next to you, baby. Can't get next to you. I've been trying for such a long time. Can't get next to you, baby. Can't get next to you. Oh, come on. Turn back the hands of time. You better believe I can. You see, I can make the seasons change just by waving my hand. Let me say, I can change anything from old to new, girl. Yeah, and all the things I want to do the most, you see, I'm unable to do. Yeah, unimportant, all these things that I'm trying to do here today. Working on it, baby. I've been thinking about it. You see, I've been trying to call you all day long, but you see, I don't have your phone number, honey. I've been thinking about you, baby. Something awful, you see. Sometimes I feel like I want to moan about it, and I just don't know what to say. And I say,
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is the Sam T. Blues Review. We are highlighting the music of High Records in Memphis, Tennessee. High Records employed a series of session musicians, including the Memphis Horns, which were Wayne Jackson and Andrew Love. The mainstay contributors included Charles, Leroy, and Teeny Hodges on the organ, bass, and guitar, respectively. Drummer Al Jackson Jr. or Howard Grimes, and Willie Mitchell's brother, James, arranged the music. How about that? So this band, everybody I mentioned, and maybe a couple other folks here and there, would form the High Rhythm Section. But before they were known as such, the Hodges brothers were doing their own thing. They were the Germantown Blue Dots along with their father, then the Impalas, eventually hooking up with Willie Mitchell in the mid-60s and becoming part of the legendary High Rhythm Band. They would work on nearly all of Al Green's albums, contributing to Green's signature style that he still plays today. He's a reverend, the Reverend Al Green. That just sounds amazing. That is the best name I've ever heard. Al Green already sounded cool. Reverend Al Green. I'd like to meet him one day. Anyway, that is the high rhythm section. And in 1976, after working at High Records for a few years, they released their own album called On the Loose. Here's On the Loose from High Rhythm section.
Instead of a thrill, you'll give me a
tell you it's all in the way you feel. If love is real, come to me. Call me, call me, call me, come back home. The best thing I can do is give you your love, give you your love, babe. Let you go away, feeling as free as a dove. And if you find you're a long ways from home, and somebody's doing you wrong, just call me, baby, and come back home. Call me, come back home. Call me back home. Baby, things ain't going right. Yeah, it's all in the day. Right? Call me when you're lonely. You can call me when you're feeling sad, baby. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah.
Call Me by Al Green. And hey, you can call me at 515-332-4100 if you have any blues or soul singers you'd like me to feature on the Sam T. Blues Revue, or jazz, folk, country, anything. I'll play anything here on the show. I like to consider us a sort of a large scope. We have a large range of artists because everybody can really kind of connect to the blues in some fashion. So do that, or follow the show on Facebook or Instagram at STB_977. On tonight's show, we have been highlighting the high rhythm section, the band responsible for Al Green's sound, as well as the great Ann Peebles, Otis Clay, and Syl Johnson. Johnson, as well as the rest of the High Records artists, was in the shadow of Al Green, which is unfortunate. Al Green obviously deserves everything he's gotten. He is a phenomenal artist, but when you're such a small label, you have this huge star, it's going to be a little hard for anybody else to come up. It wasn't like Stax, where they could just do a big super group, you know? It was just kind of hard. So, Syl Johnson, you know, kind of put on the back burner, as they like to say. I don't know who says it, but he was put on the back burner. He got his due in the 90s. This is after being sampled by many rappers, including Public Enemy, Wu-Tang Clan, Hammer, the Ghetto Boys. I would encourage you to look that up if you're into it. He is, as of now, one of the most sampled artists for rappers. So in the 90s, he recorded a new CD in 1994 called Back in the Game, featuring the High Rhythm section and his daughter, Selena. But one of my favorite albums from Syl Johnson, it's 1974's Diamond in the Rough, which featured this tune. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. Let Yourself Go.
When you're feeling bad, you need some loving. When you really, really need to get down, there ain't no reason for you crying. You need some love, there ain't no denying. Whenever you get the feeling, you feel like reaching for the ceiling. satisfaction. Get on up and get yourself some satisfaction. Get on up. Get on up. Get on up. Let yourself go. Get on up. Let yourself go. Get on up, yeah. Let yourself go. Get on up. Get in the mood. Get on up. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody else, but I just can't keep it to myself now. For as long as I've been running around, I finally met a little boy who really got me down. Baby, baby, you got my mind messed up. Little boy, you sure got my mind messed up. Baby, don't you know you got my mind messed up? Little boy, you sure got my mind messed up. I go to bed, Lord, and I just can't sleep. Sit down at the table, ooh Lord, and I just can't eat. Sugar plums dancing all in my mind. Every day you with me seem like Valentine. I walk the rainbow, Lord, and I chill the moon. Walked around the world and get back before noon. Baby, baby, you got my mind messed up. Little boy, you sure got my mind messed up. Baby, you got my mind messed up now. Darling, you sure got my mind messed up. Eyes wide open, Lord, and I can't see. Anywhere the man goes, don't you know he can lead me? You got my mind messed up. Running, 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 after you, after loving you, honey, nobody, 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 nobody else will do. And if you want me, darling, here's what I'll do. I'll come running after you. I've grown accustomed to your likes and your taste. You're a special part of me, honey, in so many ways. And if you want me, darling, here's what I'll do. I'll come running after you. No one else could ever do. No
You think love is just fun and game, trying to be a playboy. All you do is run around, using hearts for play toys. You've been playing daddy with every mama around. What you gonna say when you look up one day, see your playhouse tumbling down? I'm gonna tear your playhouse down pretty soon. I'm gonna tear your playhouse down, room by room. I'm gonna tear your playhouse down, room by room.
Hey, welcome back. This is the Sam T. Blues Review, brought to you in part by Shiny Top Brewing in Fort Dodge. And before the break, we played some Syl Johnson. We also played Quiet Elegance and Ann Peebles once again, all artists who recorded with the High Rhythm Section, a band that came into prominence in the 1970s, recording with Al Green for High Records. But what happened after that? What happened after the 70s? The 80s? More specifically, the band dissolved in 77. This is after High Records was sold. It regrouped as a touring band in 1979, then sort of faded away a little bit. I mean, all the musicians still found work, but nothing as huge as the High Rhythm Section. The Hodges brothers, who we talked about before, that is 3 of the members of the High Rhythm Section, toured with Albert Collins and Otis Clay. You heard him a little while ago. And that was in the 80s and 90s, until Charles Hodges left to become a church minister. In 2016, the group was inducted into the Memphis Music Hall of Fame, and in 2017, legendary blues musician Robert Cray bought the group out of retirement for one last album. Well, I certainly hope it's not the last album, but that album is called Robert Cray and High Rhythm. I'll be joined by Robert Cray in a little while. Looking forward to talking with him. He is one of the greatest blues guitarists, singers, performers, guys, cats, blues cats. He's one of the greatest blues cats of all time. You can take that to the bank. I think the banks are closed, but you can still take that to the bank. We're going to talk with him in a little while, but right now we're going to hear a track from that album I just talked about. This is Honey Bad. This is the Sam T. Blues Review.
Can't cook my breakfast. She can't sweeten my tea. But all she got to do now is play house with me. 'Cause I can cook my own eggs and ham, get my supper from a can, 'cause honey's bad. Oh, she's bad. My honey's bad. I said she's bad. Oh, she's bad. My honey's bad. When my day is done, I wanna have a little fun. Oh, I call my honey baby, yeah, on my cell phone. 'Cause she knows how to ring my bell. She does things I dare not tell, 'cause honey's bad. Oh, she's bad. My honey's bad. I said she's bad. Oh, she's bad. My honey's bad. She does everything she possibly can to try to please me and make everything alright. That's why I love to praise her name. I like to see the pretty smile on a pretty little face. Oh yeah, yeah. My honey's bad. My honey's bad. She got a credit card, yeah. charge. She may take it back now, yeah, 'cause you're living too large. But oh, when she crossed those long legs, I forget about what I said, honey bad. Oh, she's bad, my honey bad. I said she's bad, oh, she's bad, my honey bad. My breakfast, she burns the bread, and when she cooking my eggs now, ooh, it makes me scratch my head. Oh, I don't wanna see her pretty hands and no greasy pots and pans, 'cause honey bad, oh, she's bad, my honey's bad. She's bad, oh, she's bad, my honey's bad. I said she's bad, ah, bad. So bad, you ought to see her. I do everything.
Robert Cray and High Rhythm doing Honey Bad. I spoke with Robert Cray in anticipation of his upcoming show at Hoyt Sherman in Des Moines. It was scheduled for this week, for tomorrow actually, but it's been moved up to September. We're going to have more details on that in the future, and also a ticket giveaway as it gets closer. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I am still looking forward to the show. Timing actually works a little better for me. I might have my dad come out, and we'll both go see him, because that would be really cool. That's Robert Cray at Hoyt Sherman. Check out our Facebook page. We're going to be posting more information on there. That is the Sam T. Blues Review on Facebook. So Robert Cray and I talked about his early days in Oregon, playing with Curtis Salgado, another Blues Review guest. And he talks about when he first met Curtis.
Richard Cousins and I moved down to Oregon in 1974, and we had seen this band that Curtis was in called the Nighthawks in Eugene, and we became friends with Curtis. We used to go to Curtis's house when he lived with his parents, and go over and listen to records. We'd like throw rocks up at his window, stuff like that. And Curtis had a great record collection, and we were all into blues.
Yeah.
We were like I was like 20 when I first moved there, and I think Richard was 19, and I think Curtis was the same age, And so we're these young kids, that just had this fascination about blues. Curtis was already playing blues in his band, and Richard and I, that's what we were doing as well. So we became friends, and Curtis's band, the Nighthawks, they were well established in Eugene, and we were just getting started. So we had the opportunity through them to start getting some of our first gigs, and we did a lot of double bills together, the the Robert Cray band and the Nighthawks. And then when both bands were off, we had a splinter group that we called the Crayhawks, and with Curtis and David Olson, who played drums with Curtis, and Richard and myself from our band, and we had a lot of fun.
So I know when you were starting out there, I know you mainly kind of played on the West Coast, but now that you've kind of played all over the world pretty much, how would you kind of compare that West Coast blues, or maybe specifically the Oregon kind of blues sound, to other genres? What kind of makes that stand out to you?
Well, I don't think there's anything that makes it stand out. I think that because of our age, and not being like, living in a definable area as there is in Chicago or, in Texas or any other, big, popular places for the music. We're just young kids who liked everything and tried to play it all. So, whether it was by Elmore James or Little Walter or, Freddie King or B.B. King, we didn't have an identifiable sound, but we just, especially in doing covers, as we did back in those days.
So I want to ask you what it felt like. I know a couple of years ago you won the Americana Music Lifetime Achievement Award. What was that like?
That was pretty cool. That was really cool because it was there in Nashville, and the whole award show was pretty cool because it's like, it's roots music, and it was great to have been invited and to have been given an award with all the people who play roots music for our country, and that's played around the world. It was pretty cool, yeah. And to be there with the High Rhythm,
right,
who also got an award as well. That was really cool. It was one of their first awards with all the music that they've done over the years. It was a beautiful thing.
That actually leads into my next question. I was going to ask, I know on your most recent album, Robert Cray and High Rhythm, it's a great album. I really like listening to that. And can you tell me a little bit, you're welcome, can you tell me a little bit, just maybe for those who don't know, who High Rhythm are and, why are they important to blues and soul music?
Well, High Rhythm is a group that was put together by the great musician and producer Willie Mitchell. And Willie Mitchell is so very instrumental in this, the sound of Memphis. Some of the people that he brought up were, Al Jackson, who worked at Stax, as the drummer, with Booker T and the MGs. He produced people like O.V. Wright, Syl Johnson, Ann Peebles, Al Green, of course, probably the most known, and created his own sound at his Royal Studios in Memphis. He also had, he had instrumentals, albums of his own in the 60s and 70s, and, he created that sound. So the High Rhythm are the band that he pretty much raised as kids.
Wow. And
helped him, and that he had, that played out his vision of the sound he created at Royal Studios in Memphis, which included the Hodges brothers, Teeny, who played guitar, Charles, who played the organ, and we call him Flick, Leroy Hodges, who played the bass. And, of course, Al Jackson was there, as one of the drummers, as well as Bulldog, who was the other drummer, whose real name escapes me at the moment, and Archie Turner, who played piano as well, and they created the Memphis sound. which is, it's prominent on all those records that you hear.
So what did it feel like to be able to play with those guys? How did you get together and start recording?
Our good friend and producer and great musician, drummer Steve Jordan, who I've had the great opportunity to work with.
Yeah, Steve's great.
On a lot of different occasions, yeah. He sent me an email. He goes, I got it, because he was going to do the next record. And he goes, I got it, Robert Cray and High Rhythm at Royal Studios. And I go, yeah, man. So we stayed in contact, and we started emailing suggestions for songs we were going to do. And he said, get to writing and all that stuff like that. So I said, okay, great. Then we met up in Memphis. I had met, the guys, one by one over the years, but didn't really know them, And so the first thing that we do, and what Steve normally does in the studio settings, is he gets behind the drum kit and just starts playing, and everybody falls in. And we played this groove for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Wow.
And then we ended it, and then we were all on the same page.
That's awesome.
And then we started recording.
Yeah.
That's how
Just
it
like
works
that,
with
huh?
Steve. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Robert, that's all I got for you. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with me.
Well, thanks, Sam. Thanks for having me on the program.
Absolutely. You have a good one.
Thank you. You as well.
What you gotta do, you must believe.
Well, folks, this has been the Sam T. Blues Review here on 97.7 The Bolt. I want to thank Shiny Top Brewing for sponsoring the show, Little Magic Sam for writing and performing our theme song that I love so much. I would like to thank Robert Cray. It was an honor speaking with him. Be sure to check out Robert Cray and High Rhythm. You can find their music on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, anywhere where music is sold. Robert Cray and High Rhythm. You can also find a playlist of songs featured on tonight's broadcast that will be available shortly. We'll try to have that for you tomorrow morning. Check out Spotify, the Sam T. Blues Review on Spotify, and we have playlists of all the music that we've featured in the past. So check that out. If you need something to do while you're at home, just toss that bad boy on. We got hours and hours of music on there. Probably days. I would venture to say weeks. I think there are weeks of music, and if you want to just throw the playlist on, Sam T. Blues Review, and just let that thing play all 2 weeks until we get some more answers on everything going on out there, that would be ideal. That would work for me. So please do that. And just a reminder, Shiny Top Brewing is doing delivery, so call them, 515-302-8055. Support them. Support all of your local businesses here in Humboldt and the surrounding communities. Check out our Facebook page and 977thevolt.com in the school closings announcements tab in the upper right corner. Check that out. We're going to be posting any business that gets in touch with us, everything that they're doing in the community, whether they're closed, whether they're operating a little bit differently. We will be putting that information out there. And again, thank you so much for listening to the Sam T. Blues Review, and I do hope you join me next time.